Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Um, I don't know if my Instagram is live yet, but let me see. I'm going to go live again on Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. Just give me a second. I am going to go live again on Instagram. Let's see why my Instagram is frozen today. Let's try this again. All right, I don't know what's going on with my stuff today. If you guys can see me, comment in the box and let me know that you can see me. Okay, I think I'm actually live now. If you're on Instagram and you can see me, comment, let me know you can see me. Same as Facebook or YouTube. If you can see me, let me know. I was frozen there for a little bit, but I think I have unfrozen because I'm seeing people coming in now. Where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time tuning in, definitely let me know. And let me know where you're tuning in from so that I can give you a shout out. Okay, Chinny, you can see me. Awesome. Okay, so it's back up and running. Bio on YouTube, good morning. Sedella Campbell, you can see me on Facebook. Awesome. Good morning. Good morning, Bista on Instagram. AG Braids on Instagram from Houston. Welcome. Luxury HB, Queens, New York. Hello, hello. Crown, Dallas, Texas. Good morning. Kelly Loden from New York. Lavina, good morning. Chini says, how much do you charge for immigration lawyer? I mean, we offer different cases, so it just really depends on what you need help with. But to schedule a consultation, we charge $150. So that would be the first place to start. Natisha says, first time tuning in. Welcome from South Carolina. Thank you for tuning in. All right, guys. Today, you can just jump right into your questions. Before I start answering the questions, let me just introduce myself formally. My name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration lawyer. I represent clients all over the United States. Our physical office is here in Atlanta, Georgia, and Florida, but we take cases in every single state. We assist with any kind of family-based, marriage-based, humanitarian-based case, like T visas, VAWA cases. U cases, fiance visas, consular processing, we assist with all of them. So if we can help you, definitely give us a call. My phone number here is 407-999-6567. You can also send a WhatsApp to 404-333-8751. Okay? What's the code to use when applying for a work permit based on an adjustment of status? Well, adjustment of status can be based on different things. So it depends on what you're adjusting your status. Asia is here in Atlanta. Welcome. Boss lady from the Middle East. Welcome. AG Bracer, where are you? Currently today, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Tamo from Jacksonville. Flavor Flav from Jamaica. Welcome. Earl from New York. Lots of New Yorkers today. Jessica's Letitia Brown says, can I ask a question? Sure, ask a question. Jam Leon says from Mississippi, good morning. Can a green card holder marry a non-green card holder? A green card holder can marry anyone they want. There's no requirement or restriction as far as who you can marry. I think the bigger question is, if you're marrying a non-green card holder, you probably want to know, can you file for them? Can they get their petition from you? One of the things that USCIS, one of the things that you have to consider is what is the person's current status when they're in the United States, or are they outside the United States? So you can marry them, but how you can help them get their paper is going to depend on, one, where they live, their current status if they're here in the United States, and the visa bulletin and whether visas are available to them. So there's so many variables to that question where now it's a bit harder to just answer in a live because it will take like a full consultation to go over your particular case, as opposed to if it was a time when visas were current and we could just easily answer the question. Unknown says, good morning, the best Lord. Thank you. Kay says, good morning, beautiful. Good morning. Good morning, Anna Gay from Florida. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. I am an Ashley granted. Do you mean asylum? I'm not sure if that's what you mean. And I'd like to know if I have to apply for renew my work permit and expect to have a new ID. I'm not sure if I understand your question. They can just retype it correctly so I can answer that. How long after biometrics do you hear back from them? I assume you're talking about like your work permit. If that's the case, it's very different for every case type. So, your work permit can vary depending on that. Can you apply for VAWA if you've been denied a marriage-based case? Yes, you can if you are eligible. So because you're denied from a marriage-based case, it's not the basis to apply for a VAWA case. You apply for a VAWA case because you're a victim of extreme cruelty and violence by your U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse. If you meet that requirement and you're denied your marriage-based case, then for sure, you can apply for VAWA, but you have to be eligible to apply. If I filed the I-130 since January of this year, but I only got a little saying they said they received my application, I want to know if I have to submit an application for adjustment of status. Gucci, the answer is going to depend on your spouse's immigration status. Are they U.S. citizens? Are they green card holders? All of that will determine whether or not you should be filing an adjustment of status. Katie says, how long does the I-824 form normally take to get approved after you file? My kids are in Jamaica. I received my green card from VAWA. It could take up to a year. It could take anywhere from like 6 months to a year. And, really, it's not an approval or a denial. What they're just doing is that they're moving your case to the National Visa Center. And then once they move it to the National Visa Center, then you then file your child's consular processing application. So that's how that works. Does fingerprint for a job interfere with your status in the U.S.? I mean, it depends. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I need a little bit more to answer you. Like, are you in status or are you out of status? Fingerprint for a job, a lot of times is for background check and background information, which sometimes you have to do depending on the kind of immigration petition that you're filing, either at the initial stage of filing or you must do when you do biometrics. So it's part of the clearance and making sure that you're good. Good morning, my best attorney. Please, if someone filed for VAWA and didn't file concurrent, can she go back and do a concurrent if she is eligible to do it concurrent? Yes, she can, only if she's eligible. I'm on a work OPT and I just got married and I'm trying to change my status. How much of proof of evidence do I need? There's no quantity required. Just put all the evidence that you can show that you have a legitimate, true marriage that is based out of both of you wanting to be together and not to just for immigration purposes. If you get a work permit and a travel permit document, how long does it take to get a green card by VAWA? Most VAWA cases take 2 years to 2.5 years, first of all, for your VAWA approval. Once your VAWA case is approved, then it moves over to the field office, and that's when you get your green card, which I would say give or take another 6 months. ish. So for some people, it's going to be 2.5 years. For some people, in totality, it's going to be 3 years. So it just depends on your field office and what's going on with your case. Kind of 10-year green card holder petition for a parent here in the United States. A 10-year green card holder cannot petition for a parent. You must be a U.S. citizen, and you must be over the age of 21 to petition for your parent. Okay. How can I get my birth certificate amended if my mother didn't put my name on it and she put my name on my social? I'm not able to get my legal documentation because my birth certificate says so. I don't know what the completion of that is, but who you should be asking that, Dee, is your country. Whatever country you're from, you should find out how to amend your birth certificate. You know, every country has the rules and requirements, and some states go further with state requirements, like here in the United States. You know, every state is different. You know, if you're from certain other countries, there are general rules of what should be in a birth certificate. And so you should be contacting that department, that Department of Vital Statistics, or whatever it's called, where you're from, and they should be able to tell you the process of amending. I've been waiting for my vow for over 3 years now. I don't know what you wrote there, but you're asking, should you be worried about it? Honestly, 3 months is normal. 3 years is just about the timeline. I don't know how much over 3 years you've been waiting, but you can certainly do an inquiry at this point just to see what's going on with your case and why, USCIS has not made a decision yet. Hi, Emmanuel from Las Vegas. Link Scare says, thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you so much. Can someone apply for an emergency travel permit before they get a work permit? Yes, you definitely can. My friend filed for VAWA and her green card was denied. What are the next steps? MK Cash will need to know why your friend was denied. So I can't give the next steps without knowing why she was denied, because that would have to be corrected in any other step. So you can have your friend schedule a consultation, 407-995-6567, and then we can see what the denial is saying and why. And then I can let her know if she has any other options or he has any other options. How do you appeal a denial? What kind of denial? So there are different forms depending on what kind of denial that you received. And there's, obviously that 30-day window, so you want to be very quick with doing your appeal. Good morning. Why is my case transferred to another office outside an N400 and an I-751 interview? I don't know. Did you move? Hopefully it's not being transferred to like a fraud investigation, but I don't know without knowing much about your case. If I don't receive a prima facie, should I be worried? I've received a work permit and travel doctor. Unique, if you've not received a prima facie at all, yeah, we definitely want to know why. We want to know if you've not received one. Is it because maybe they didn't mail it, it got lost in the mail, or you've not received any at all? So I would be worried if you've not. But if you've received a prima facie before and you don't get the updated ones, I wouldn't be worried at all, because you already have your prima facie determination letter. It's just a paper, showing the extension, but a lot of times they just don't mail it on time, or it might be lost the way they thought they mailed it. So, but if you've not received any at all, I may be concerned. I'm a US citizen, and this is from my mother. She's here in the United States with me, but I'm thinking, should I file the I-485? Well, Gucci, if your mom came into the country with a visa, um, a visitor's visa or whatever, like basically a visa that doesn't restrict her, and there are no other issues in her background, which is best to screen on that. You can certainly apply for adjustment of status, not just the I-485. You still have to file the I-130 as well, for her. If I applied for my adjustment of status, would I need to do a separate account? A separate account of what? Like, what do you mean separate account? How long does it take for a sponsorship from a citizen to their sibling who's currently on an F1 visa? Could take anywhere from 16 to 20 years, unfortunately. That is the longest category to petition for someone, siblings. I did my removal of conditions since February of 2022, but didn't hear anything until October 2023. Well, I did e-request. I was asked to give them 6 months. Can I file my citizenship with this? So your citizenship is not determined based on how long your I-751 is ongoing. You base your eligibility for citizenship, base it on like how long have you had your green card? So if you're filing for citizenship because you and your spouse is still married or you're a victim of extreme cruelty and abuse, eligibility begins at the 3-year mark. If you fall into any other category, basically it's 5 years. So what you want to count is from the date you got your temporary green card till today. Where are you? Are you at the 3-year mark? Do you meet those requirements? Or are you at the 5-year year? Do you meet those requirements? If the answer is yes, then that's your answer. You can file for citizenship. Okay. Sadella says, what documents does USCIS require when they request for initial evidence for the 485? It specifically tells you on the document. If you've gotten a request for additional evidence, your document should tell you what you're missing. Are you missing good faith marriage? Are you missing, what are you missing? Like, I don't know what kind of case, what is it that they're looking for? So usually that RFE will tell you what it is that they need from you, and make sure that you answer all the things that they need from you. Generally, when you don't answer all the things that they need from you, it can cause your case to be denied. Okay. I have a question. Would you please check your messages? I don't check my messages. I get thousands of messages, and if I check them, I will not get my work done. So sometimes my team checks it, but if you want to schedule consultation with me, definitely recommend calling 407-995-6567. Just because, I have to work, and, if I sit down on social media, I won't get any work done. Good morning. At what point can someone whose application is 16 months do their medical? They got receipt notice for VAWA and EAD prima facie, as well as have done biometrics. Lavina, at this point, just wait till your case is approved, and your VAWA is approved. Your VAWA is approved, and they've either requested that medical or they've scheduled you for an interview where you bring that medical. Just because anything can happen between then and that time in terms of what the requirements are, and it might require you to do a new medical. What I mean by that is over the last 3 years, we've seen the medical requirement change so much because of COVID, where it's like, okay, now you have to use this new form because now you're required to have the COVID vaccine. Now you're required just to have the basics. Now, so it's changed so much. Even this year, it changed. In the middle of the year. So if you're not doing like a marriage-based case where you're submitting it simultaneously at the same time, if you're doing a VAWA case, it's better for you to wait till that VAWA is approved, just because VAWA cases take 2 years to 2.5 years. So the rules may change, your medical may expire, so just wait. Okay. Yummy Bobson, thank you. Love you back. How much is a consultation? $150. Family-based petition, married to a U.S. citizen, filed in May, but haven't received an EAD yet, and I've already gotten an RFE for medical and submitted it. So, Ms. Sugar and Spice, first of all, I want to say I love how you asked your question. You've made it very easy for me to answer the question by telling me exactly what kind of petition. Because, a lot of times you guys will just throw a question. I don't know what kind of case, what kind of whatever, and I'm having to guess. But she just explained it right away and said what kind of petition it is. If they've asked you for an RFE for your medical and you submitted it May, so that's June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months, it's possible that you might actually get your green card before your EAD. That happens a lot. We see that happen a lot with marriage-based cases. So fingers crossed that one of them is coming through for you in the next month or two. If after you sent your medical and you've not heard anything, after 120 days, hopefully it doesn't take that long, but after 120 days, you definitely need to inquire and see what's up. Samantha, I don't handle employment-based cases. That's why I'm not responding to your question. Not because I'm ignoring you, but I don't handle employment-based immigration. What is a prima facie determination? A prima facie determination is a document that is given to petitioners, people who file for VAWA. Typically once you submit your VAWA application and you've met the preliminary requirements to be classified as a VAWA survivor, USCIS will issue what we call a prima facie determination letter. And that letter, they will list you and your children that are under the age of 21 who are not US citizens. So what that means is that if you get approved, so do your children in that category. For a lot of people who get prima facies, how that can affect you or help you is different depending on what state you live in. In some states, if you've not gotten your work permit or your travel permit, you're able to use that prima facie to get a driver's license. For example, Texas is one of those states. And then, for some others, it's to allow you to get some state assistance for temporary housing or temporary, like food assistance. And a lot of states will have requirements where you cannot live with the abuser, like for them to help in that category. And then for some other people, it helps with financial aid for school. So it's very different how each state interprets it. US is one of those countries where every state kind of has their own rule of how they do certain things. So, but that's generally what it means. And usually you're given a prima facie. Your first prima facie is for a year. And then after that, they'll just do automatic renewals. You don't have to do another application. It's just like an automatic renewal for 180 days, until they make a decision on your case. Sophia asks, how does one know if they're eligible for concurrent filing for VAWA? If she's not in removal, meaning she's not in deportation proceedings, and the person that she married is a U.S. citizen, then she could possibly file for concurrent filing of her adjustment of status at the same time. Mecca says, do you help people based in other states? Absolutely. We take cases in every single state in the United States. Every single state, your location is not a limitation at all. And we can help you. Do they send you a notice if they plan to deny your case? Yeah. So sometimes they do, sometimes they just deny you. So sometimes if this is the first notice you're getting, you'll get a notice of intent to deny if they're planning to deny your case. And then if it's a situation where they requested additional evidence and you didn't submit the evidence, or the evidence that you submitted was not satisfactory, in that case, they won't send you another notice. They'll just deny you. Yeah. Okay. I'm a speed teacher. Can you tell me how likely I am to get a visa for my fiance if you have a 19-year age difference? I honestly can't tell you because I don't know you and your fiance. I don't know what kind of evidence you have. these decisions are based on the evidence that you present to immigration. So, you could have like a lot of solid evidence to show that this is a bona fide and legitimate relationship and its age is not a number. And then you can have not enough evidence to show that it's nothing more than for immigration purpose. Without seeing that, I can't really say where you stand. I will tell you though that because there's a 19-year age difference, they will definitely be looking at your application with a fine-tooth comb. This absolutely does not mean you'll be denied. It just means that they're going to be checking it to make sure that, truly this marriage is going to happen. I filed for VAWA, but USCIS, without replacing the 360 with the I-130, rejected my green card application. But VAWA is still pending. Am I going to refile for a green card again? Need a little bit more information so that I can make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. Why are you asking them to replace it? Are you married to an LPR, to a green card holder? Is that why? So I need a little bit more to screen you properly to be able to answer. This person says, good morning, you're my lawyer. I filed my vow in March 2021. I received my Social Security and work permit is almost 3 years. Why is it so long? So technically, it's only been 2 years. This is a normal timeline. I don't know if you joined me earlier on in the live. For VAWA cases, it takes anywhere from 2.5 years to 3 years to 30 months. So you're still very much within the timeline. If after 36 months, like I always say to everyone, including my clients, if after 36 months, we've got nothing, and this is assuming you've never received an RFE or anything else, then we definitely want to see what's going on. And generally the cases that we find to take the longest are cases where there have been previous marriages and those marriages where the divorces happen outside of the United States. So I don't know who you are on here, but those are all the variables that one would have to consider. But if your case was March 2021, you're still very much in a normal timeline. My friend failed for VAWA 3 years ago. Filed. Do you mean filed for VAWA? Is that what you're trying to say? And he applied for his EAD renewal, but he only got a letter of adjustment, but hasn't received the card renewed. Yeah, I would need to schedule a consult with them if you're asking me why they've not gotten their EAD, just so I can make sure I understand the question that you're asking. This is for Hakeem Holu. I'm going to answer one more question, and then I am going to jump off. St. Clair says, I'm in Ohio. How can I get to you? Call me, 407-995-6567 to schedule consultation with myself or any of the other associate attorneys that work here at my firm, and we'll be happy to consult with you. I hope you guys have an amazing week and you are planning for your Christmas. If I didn't get to answer your question, please call and schedule a consultation so I can answer you. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.